You're in a bit of a pickle, Doctor.
Mr. Lazy as I am a bit, do you think you could help me get my keys out of my pocket?
Yes, well.
Thank you.
Here, let me turn it.
Oh, thanks.
What is all this?
It's work from my practice. I decided to put my nights on call to good effect.
It's called moonlighting, Doctor.
Oh, I hadn't really thought. You're joking.
I swear, Dr. Martin, you're the cleverest woman in this place. Yet you walk right into it every time.
Thanks.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I've got one or two things yet to get, but I can manage.
Yes, well, I'll say good morning.
Thank you very much.
Yep, I might still catch the early bus.
I could give you a lift if you like.
I'm going to Denfield, Doctor. You're Birmingham, aren't you?
Yes, but I've got to pick up some shopping before I go home.
All right. I'm with you then, Doc. Do you always drive this fast, Dr. Martin?
Yes, I've always loved speed, Mr. Clough. Why? Does it make you feel uncomfortable?
No, not at all.
Check all outlets right off. Pay special attention to lorries, vans, anything driven by a single male, OK?
You think he might have nicked himself a car?
According to his record, Cardiff was his first love.
Yeah, but not his last, unfortunately, which is why we've got to catch this bloke double quick. So let's get out there, start looking. Morning, sir.
Has the hospital confirmed who it is?
John Peter Barry, sir. Also known as the Devil's Disciple.
Oh, God.
They discovered him gone at 7 this morning.
Did they say how he got out?
No details, sir. But we do know this Barry's as sharp as they come.
Don't we just? Has everyone been briefed?
Yes, sir. We've started house-to-house searches in the area around the hospital, sir. We've got patrols out, roadblocks on all routes.
I don't want this man loose on my patch, Morse. Not him. In my book, what he did to those women
In
was...
everyone's book, sir. If he comes here, we'll get him. Lewis.
Chief Inspector Morse, Mr. McTeer, and Sergeant Lewis.
Frank McTeer, I'm the General Manager, Chief Inspector. Will you want the ward emptied?
We'll have to speak to the patients, Mr. McTeer. Have you any idea how he got out?
From the infirmary, yes. He drugged my nurse, Henry Rayner, took his keys and walked out.
What kind of drugs did Barry use?
He was prescribed sleeping pills some months back. He must have kept some aside.
You go to Oxford, mate?
Yeah, that's right.
Could do with a lift.
I'll jump in.
I assume the infirmary is less secure than the main hospital.
Yes, but that was never a worry. Rennick's strengths are in the perimeter.
So what happened last night?
Mr. Rayner came in at about 4. He had a mug of tea with him. Barry said he couldn't sleep and he wanted to play chess. He asked for some tea. Rayner rang down to the restroom, and when Rayner went to the door to collect it, that's when Barry must have slipped the mickey into Rayner's mug.
I'd like to see his room in the main hospital. Will you talk to Rayner and the patients, Lewis?
Slade, Chief Inspector.
Have you seen this man who picked up any hitchhikers this morning?
Sergeant Lewis, in here.
Wasn't this place checked?
Only to make sure that Barry wasn't actually in here.
This?
He was writing a book, a black Bible, he said.
I'd like to take some of this material with me, Mr. McTeer.
Yes.
You allowed this. Look at it.
Chief Inspector.
The man stood up in open court and claimed that he was acting on orders from the devil, and you allowed this. You've had him for 2 years. Weren't you meant to be curing him of this?
You cannot cure a man without first understanding him. Look, by indulging him, he opened up to one of our psychiatrists, Esther Martin. In order to engage Barry, Dr. Martin read up on the occult. He came to see her as a fellow believer, and more, as an earthly medium for some demoness. Astreth, he said it was. We encouraged his belief.
A demoness? And you bought that, Mr. McTeer?
This is a mental hospital. Half a dozen doctors had diagnosed Barry as psychotic.
Let me guess the rest. In order to be seen as Barry's friend, Dr. Martin had to deliver the goods. Sleeping pills, entry to the infirmary on demand, and his home comforts.
What would you have done? We were able to go to his victims and say that he was here, locked up.
But he isn't locked up anymore, is he, Mr. McTeer?
What's wrong?
Barry, Mr. McTeer. He might have changed his appearance.
One of the wash basins was blocked to human hair, traces of what looks like hair dye.
Hair dye?
Barry was allowed to help out in the Dramatic Society, Chief Inspector.
Okay, message understood.
Ringo? We just had a new description. He's in disguise. Receding red hair. Any doubts, and we check for a tattoo on the inside of his left arm. An inverted cross.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can I see some ID, please?
Yeah.
What's up? Have you picked anyone up this morning, Mr. Shaw?
Well, I picked a bloke up with the calf just outside Denfield. Why?
Could this be the man?
No, definitely not. This bloke was receding. He had red hair.
Hey, Cobbs! Cobbsy! I think he's been here. Where did you drop him?
Well and good, but I understand that stuff. That's not my problem, is it? Look, anyway, another squad car's just arrived, so something's going on. And listen, I want a new opening. Yeah. You ready? Okay, look. Multiple rapist John Peter Barry is again at large. A self-proclaimed devil's disciple whose 7-year reign of terror in the Midlands ended with his conviction 2 years ago.
Hey, there he
I'll
is.
get back to you, I've got to go.
Have any more information?
Can you make a statement, Chief Inspector?
What's going on here, Chief Inspector? Has Barry been spotted or what?
John Peter Barry was dropped near here shortly after his escape.
Dropped from what?
He was given a lift in a lorry. The driver is presently helping with an identikit.
But we know what Barry looks like, Chief Inspector.
We did. We now know that he was using a disguise. You'll be given the identikit as soon as it's available.
And do you think he's still in the area?
Well, I can't say for certain, but I would ask people in the area to be both vigilant and cautious. Under no circumstances must this man be approached. And that's about all I can say at the moment.
Oh, can you give us the driver's name?
What did he talk to Barry about when he was in the line? That really is everything for now, folks. Believe me, the minute we get anything at all, you'll hear about it. Thank you.
It's away. Half of the course when you think about it.
He's long gone, sir. We've covered the whole area, not seen a thing.
I'm not so sure, Lewis. He specifically said Oxford to that lorry driver. But if he is here, why is he here? Why not London? Why not out of the country altogether?
Did you want that clergyman? Appleton?
Yes, I've arranged for us to meet him. You better leave one car here and get the rest back on the search.
I'll talk to the lads.
Excellent, truly. And you see, it's so important to listen to each other intensely. Now, excuse me, it would seem I've got some company. Same time tomorrow, will that be all right? Thanks ever so much. Well done.
Marvellous, sir.
It's Brahms, Opus 18, the sextet. It's always a great favourite.
I thought I recognised it.
Chief Inspector Morse, this is my sergeant, Lewis.
Canon Humphrey Appleton, Chief Inspector. I thought it might be more convenient if we met here. My own church is some little way off. Shall we go outside? Well, I'm most grateful to you for your warning call, of course, Chief Inspector, but I honestly can't imagine why this miscreant should be so interested in me.
Barry may be in the Oxford area, Captain.
And you're known to him. Your interests, I mean.
Oh, you mean the newspaper article, yes. Do you think I could see that?
Yes, there's also a manuscript and some sort of calendar.
But this is to be read on a dull Sunday over bacon and eggs. Witches and wizards. Eccentric. Vaguely erotic, but essentially harmless.
You mean there's more to it?
Well, there may be occasional carnality. More and more drugs are used, I hear. But not much actual rock and roll, Sergeant, no. But I've been saying this sort of thing for years, Chief Inspector. No harm has come to me thus far. Now, I offer advice and support to people who wish to reform. This other material, is it evidence or may I have a shufti?
I was hoping you'd ask to see it. I really do want to find out all I can about this man, Canon.
Well, you already know a great deal. You know this man is evil. But how he came to be evil, that'll be a truly fascinating investigation, Chief Inspector.
Has anything caught your eye, Mr. White?
Yeah. This one here. Although it does seem a little down at heel.
Mill Cottage, yes. It might need some upgrading, but that is reflected in the asking price. And it does have a wealth of original features, including a working watermill. It has the potential for a superb conversion.
Has there been much interest?
Oh, yes, indeed. I should advise any interested party to move PDQ.
Right, well, I'll have to think about that, talk it over with my wife and my children. Do you have any particulars?
Oh, certainly. Sarah, Mill Cottage, please.
Straight away, Mr. Perry.
Sorry, sir. Have a look, sir. You've done a good job. Tattoo, everything. We'll ban over him soon.
I hope so.
Is Lewis around?
Your office with a couple of visitors.
This is Dr. Esther Martin, sir.
We think we know how Barry got out of Rennick, Chief Inspector.
I decided to clean out my car. I keep a travelling rug in the boot, Chief Inspector.
And when she took it out, she found red stains on it and human hair.
I'm perfectly able to explain this myself, thank you, Mr. McTeer. I live in Birmingham. I have my own practice there. The contract with Rennick is for 2 days a week and for 2 nights on call once a month. Given the distance from my home, I spend my nights on call at Rennick. This morning, I had to go back to my office to get some papers, and I left the car open.
Did Barry know you were on nights, Doctor?
I suppose so. I worked with him pretty closely. He knew my routine.
I should think he almost certainly knew. You weren't studying him, Doctor. He was studying you. I imagine this cock and bull story about demons was meant to keep you hooked.
Cock and bull? What's he mean, cock and bull?
Barry's been taking us for a ride, Esther. He's been planning this escape for a long time.
He'd hardly break out of the infirmary on the off chance there might be a taxi waiting, Doctor. Your car, it has your name on it?
For security, yes.
And it's less likely to be searched.
I suppose so.
Barry supposed so and all. He broke out into the infirmary with the intention of breaking into your car. He's good at that sort of thing.
He didn't need to break in. You left your door open.
You say cock and bull, Chief Inspector, but he told me about all those other women he'd abused.
At no cost to himself. Nothing could be added to his sentence. He was in there for life. Tell me, how did he arrive at the conclusion that you were, I can hardly bear to say it.
Astereth's medium.
I started studying the occult. It was pretty tedious, but I persevered. Eventually, I knew as much, if not more, than Barry. He became convinced that I was a Satanist, like himself. He began to hint at other crimes that he hadn't been tried for. I asked him to talk about them, but he wouldn't. I was still only a woman, you see. A brood mare, he called me. So I decided to raise my status. I told him I'd been having strange dreams in which I'd been shown symbols. He asked me to draw them, and they made up the sigil of Astereth. A sigil is an occult sign. He thought he'd made the discovery himself, and after that, it was all I could do to stop him genuflecting when I came into the room.
You gave him the sleeping pills. You got him into the Dramatic Society, the infirmary, and to top it off, you drove him out of the gate.
I'm sorry. I thought what I was doing was for the best.
Constable.
Why don't you come with me and we'll get you some fresh air, Doctor?
Play like a man with 10 thumbs, priest. Did I frighten you, Shaman? It's only a shadow, you fat fool. A parlor trick. See? A trick. The sign of excommunication. You should appreciate that, Juju man. Trickery is, after all, your stock in trade.
Not trickery. I represent the truth.
You represent your own fat interests, charlatan. Weakening men with your morality tales. Do you know who I am?
I think so.
The copper. The one in the red car. Why did he come to you?
Morse? He thought you might wish me harm. He found some newspaper articles in your room.
Research. Nothing more. You are nothing to me, Shaman. Now you get back to your little house and call this Morse creature. Tell him I wish to speak with him. Go on, you fat slug. Tell Morse I want him here.
Keep your eyes on Terry.
Where's Johnson? Station at the other gate, sir.
Right.
But how did he know we'd spoken, Morse? I'd told no one. How did he know?
I've gone over the churchyard grounds, sir. There's no sign of him.
Thank you, Lewis.
At least we now know he's not after me, Chief Inspector. He wanted those articles for research purposes, he said.
Have you had time to study the manuscript, Canon? Some of it.
It says nothing original, but it is well written and shows Barry to have a firm grasp of his subject.
How can someone so bright believe in all that stuff?
I believe in an historical figure who made the lame walk and the blind see and who raised himself up from the dead. Or don't you believe that, Sergeant? Appleton? It's Barry. He wants to speak to you.
Morse?
The woman, Esther Martin. I want her brought to Oxford.
Now listen to me. Your situation is hopeless. You can't stay on the run forever.
Why not? I'm invisible, Morse. I watched you speaking to that fat charlatan and you never even saw me. I'm invisible. Now, I want the woman brought to Oxford.
Why do you want her here?
I'll tell you when you've brought her here. Now, do I get her or not?
I don't have the authority to make concessions.
It's not a concession, Morse. I'm giving you an order.
And I'm telling you I don't have the authority.
You just made a mistake, Morse. You'll see if you haven't.
What did he say?
He wants Esther Martin brought to Oxford. When I refused, he said I'd made a mistake. I get the feeling he's right.
Esther, come in, please. Chief Inspector Morse has some information for us.
Have you caught him?
No, not yet. We are now certain that Barry is in the Oxford area, Dr. Martin, and what's more, he intends to stay there. For the moment, at least. But we don't know why. In your dealings with him, did he ever mention Oxford?
Not that I can remember, no, Chief Inspector. But what makes you so sure about his intentions?
Because Barry asked for you to be brought to Oxford, Doctor.
Good Lord. What did you say?
I said no.
I think you may have made the wrong decision. You should have agreed. It wouldn't have worried me. You have to understand that. You should have said yes.
It's not that simple, Doctor.
To Barry it is. And shouldn't this give us cause for thought? I mean, why does he want me there? Isn't it possible I'm right about Barry? That he does really believe I am this medium? And he wants me nearby? Couldn't we possibly use that somehow?
There is another possibility, Doctor. That he wants to harm you in some way. He knows you tried to deceive him.
He didn't harm me when I drove him out of Rennick.
You had Mr. Clough in the car. Barry would never have taken the chance.
I agree with the Chief Inspector, Esther. We think you should stay at home until this is over.
I see. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Do you hear? You think you haven't been fed in a month of Sundays? Is that you, Stevie? 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 I know someone's here. I've got a knife here. Stevie?
Foul is fair and fair is foul, Chief Inspector. That's what your satanic Bible amounts to. Righteousness is but a fetter on man. Remove it and you have the Superman. But no veiled reference to Barry's current intentions, if that's what you were hoping for.
A vague hope, yes. Anything that might help us catch this man before he harms someone.
Well, there was something in the calendar.
You mean you can make sense of that thing?
Oh, yes, yes. It's compiled in the language of the celestial alphabet with a few sigils and symbols thrown in for good measure. But there was a date marked out, August the 1st.
That's just a few days away.
Yes, Lammas Day, when homage is paid to the devil.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Was there anything else?
There was a sigil representing fire set down beside the date. Now, I can't be certain of its significance, but satanic fundamentalists do regard fire as the prime symbol of their master's power.
How can you be so matter-of-fact about all this? Sigils, Lammas Day, the language of the celestial alphabet. We're about to enter the 3rd millennium, Canon.
Yes, but the occult will always be with us, Chief Inspector. It reflects a part of our nature.
Well, you believe that, it follows that we're all like Barry, does it not?
Well, potentially like him, yes. In church, he accused me of weakening men by what I do. I preach morality and restraint. Without those things, we have Barry. It appalls me to think there's the remotest connection between myself and that man, but consider his crimes, Chief Inspector, and ask yourself this. When we look at a woman, how many of us can say that our look is truly innocent? I can't. So from Barry's point of view, he could argue that what distinguishes him from me is his honesty.
Sir, Barry, he's abducted a woman.
corpse is inside, sir. He left this for us, sir. It's written in blood.
Who lives here?
A Mr. and Mrs. Trevors. The chap outside's a Mr. Tracy. He came to buy some fresh eggs and found this. There's more through here.
More blood.
The Trevors had a cat, Sergeant.
Barry said I'd made a mistake, Lewis. And this is the consequence.
Well, this is Barry's doing, sir. No one else's.
Do we know where Mr. Travers is?
There's some business correspondence there, sir. He seems to be a sign writer or painter. There's a job offer from one of the colleges. He should be there now.
Well, we'd better go and tell him what happened here.
Warren Willowbank, Chief Inspector Morse.
This is Sergeant Lewis.
How do you do? What's this all about, Chief Inspector? Van Trevor's in some kind of trouble? You will appreciate I can't have an intimate knowledge of everyone I employ in the college.
Just take us to see him, will you, Passer?
Mr. Travers? He's a gentleman who would rather like...
We're police officers, Mr. Travers. Chief Inspector Morse. This is Sergeant Lewis. We've just come from your house.
My house? Why? What's wrong?
I'm very sorry, Mr. Travers, but we think your wife's been abducted.
That can't be right. Holly? Abducted? She'll be out somewhere. You've made a mistake.
No mistakes.
Well, who would do that? Why?
Mr. Travers, are you familiar with the name John Peter Barry?
She wasn't taken by him. Not him. No.
Mr. Travers, we know this man plans very carefully what he does. Would you have noticed if anybody had been hanging around near your house recently?
No, there was no one.
Poor chap, Chief Inspector, my staff and I would be quite happy to look after him until he's a little recovered from this.
I prefer Mr. Travers was taken home, Bursar. We want to talk to him again.
As you wish.
There's one question, Mr. Travers. Does your wife have a car?
No car.
How did Barry get her away from the house, Lewis?
He must have transported.
You take Mr. Travers home, wait with him till Barry calls. I'll check and see what vehicles have been stolen since Barry escaped. Sergeant, I'd like a list of any vehicles stolen since Barry's escape.
Up to his old tricks?
It looks like it. Is Chief Superintendent Strange around?
Press conference, sir.
Chief Superintendent, please.
Chief Superintendent, are you certain Barry abducted Mrs. Travers?
Oh, there's no doubt. No doubt at all. Forensic examination of the message left for the police clearly implicates John Peter Barry.
But why abduction, Chief Superintendent? That's not been Barry's style, has it?
You'll appreciate there are certain matters we can't discuss.
But why?
What I'd like to emphasize is this. We now have approximately 100 men involved in the search for Barry. And these officers are engaged in mobile patrols, door-to-door inquiries, and extensive searches of premises and property. And this level of activity will be sustained until this man is caught and Mrs. Travers returned to her family.
What's he doing to my wife? Meantime, till you catch him.
What if he's having us on? I mean, that woman could be suffering God knows what agonies, and we're sitting here on our backsides. Has there been anything on the stolen cars?
Not yet. Everyone's been issued with a description. Morse.
You saw my work?
I saw.
Well, do I get Martin?
Is Mrs. Trevor's all right? You haven't harmed her?
Not yet. Do I get Martin?
Why do you want her?
She's a deceiver. Like all of her kind, she has lessons to learn.
You can't expect us to hand her over to you.
I expect you to keep her till I'm ready for her.
August the 1st, you mean? Lammas Day.
Don't play games, Morse. You people are no match for me.
We caught you before.
I'll let that go. For now. Now, I want the Martin woman brought to a public place, the Castle Hotel. I want to see her go in at 10 o'clock in the morning. And remember, I've stood next to you before, Morse. You, be at the gate to Lee's farm at 11 o'clock tomorrow night.
I hope to God he was telling the truth about Mrs. Trevor's. He didn't like that, did he? When you said he'd been caught.
But he was caught. Coming out of a house he'd burgled in Leicester. It was fortuitous. A beat constable in the right place at the right time, but he was caught. Why should that bother him?
Now, I have been wondering what you were going to do with this. Stick it in me? Liar. I wonder what it feels like. Bit like a bee sting, I suppose. With the real pain coming afterwards. Do you think so, huh? Like sting? I'm sorry about the gag. It's just that they're out there looking for me. They won't find me, of course. Fear. That's what this place smells of. It stinks of fear.
You still here, sir?
Yes. Well, you know, calls to make, soundings to take.
What calls were those, sir?
I've arranged for you to be at Lee's farm first thing in the morning with Sergeant Brenner.
Sergeant Brenner? What's he got to do with this?
He's been on all the right courses, Morse. Special surveillance, hostage situations.
That's not on, sir. This is meant to be a simple handover. No heroics. Barry will be expecting something like that.
Something like what? I simply want you to go there early and get the lie of the land.
You're gambling with that woman's life. At the very least, it's a professionally dubious course of action.
Don't you lecture me on professionalism, matey. Look, what if we pull this off, eh? We'd have done everyone a favour.
I don't know everyone, but I know who Holly Trevor's is, and I know her husband. We put her in this predicament, and now we're going to compound that by trying some gung-ho rescue attempt.
I think you've said enough, don't you, Chief Inspector?
I really don't know, sir, but you can help me there. Is there any point in putting my argument to higher councils?
Absolutely none.
I see. Calls to make and soundings to take.
You know the rules.
The rules.
Geographical configuration is good, Chief Inspector. Those woods are the only zone of negative visibility for him. You'll be sending her across from there.
And what does all that mean, Sergeant Brenner?
I can incrementally populate that wood with my lads and sit and wait for him.
And what kind of condition will your lads be in after lying in there all day?
Oh, I'll look after them, sir. I personally can lie buried in a hole in the ground for up to 3 days.
Really?
Morning, Sergeant.
Morning, Doctor. She's all yours, Sarge. Thanks, lads. Let's get indoors quickly.
No sign of it. I'll just go and have another look round outside.
You've met Constable Curtis?
Yes, she was very kind to me at the police station.
Can I take your case?
No, it's all right. I can manage myself, thanks. I don't like fuss.
Constable Curtis will be in the next room.
And we've 2 big, beefy men downstairs.
I've not yet been told what Barry had to say, Chief Inspector. I'd like to know.
He said you had a lesson to learn.
I see. And Mrs. Travers?
He says he hasn't harmed her. It's been decided, Doctor, to try to intercept Barry when he releases Mrs. Travers. I thought you should know.
Was that your idea?
No. Dr. Martin, I referred to Barry's arrest, and it seemed to annoy him. Would you know why?
Barry was the devil's man, Chief Inspector. His capture was a humiliation to him.
How did he deal with it?
His paranoia came to the rescue. He simply told himself he'd been betrayed.
By whom?
I don't know. I don't think he actually needed a person to pin the blame on.
This is Nighthawk 1.
Time check at 2300. Nighthawk 4, time check confirmed.
Visual contact. Visual contact. This is Nighthawk 3, on top of target. Please advise.
Go, 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 go!
Get his hat off! Get his bloody hat off!
It's just a couple of pennies for the pot. I swear.
Target error, Nighthawk 1. Target error.
Don't panic. It's all right. I'm sorry.
I'm Chief Inspector Morse, Mrs. Travers.
Sergeant Lewis.
We'd like to ask you some questions if you feel able to answer.
Yes.
Could you tell us what happened the day you were abducted, Mrs. Travers?
Well, there's nothing much to tell. I was feeding my cat and I heard a noise. When I went to look, he was there. When I woke up, I was in a dark room.
Could you see anything of the place you were held in?
No, just an empty room, and that was dark most of the time. But I'm sure it was in the country.
What was Barry driving?
Oh, some kind of van.
Did you see Barry at any time?
He came into the room and spoke to me.
How did he look?
Well, not like your photo of him, I can tell you that. He had dark hair. A wig, maybe. He had a small beard.
A beard?
Mrs. Travers, could you describe him to our photo fit officer?
I just want to get home to my husband.
Sergeant Lewis can get you home, Mrs. Travers. I can have the photo fit artist see you there.
If you want.
Who is it?
Chief Inspector Morse.
Come in, Chief Inspector. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Have you been to the hospital?
Yes, Barry didn't assault Mrs. Travers.
Was she able to help you?
We know that he's driving a van of some kind, that she was held in the country, and that Barry is using a new disguise.
Seems to be very resourceful, doesn't he, Chief Inspector?
Dr. Martin, I can't tell you not to worry, but despite Barry's undoubted confidence in his own ability, I think he'd find it difficult to reach you here.
Chief Inspector, you've got a lot on your plate without having to reassure me. And it's not too bad here anyway. I've even managed to get some work done.
Is that your family?
Yes. My mum and dad and my 3 brothers. That's Harry, he's the eldest. He's a QC now. And Jimmy, he's in the Air Force. And Eric's got his own computer firm. And then there's me.
You're the youngest?
Yes.
I imagine there was a great deal of competition to be your protector.
I wouldn't have allowed that. Besides, I think the idea of my needing protection would have rather amused those boys. Yes, growing up with those 3 was very instructive.
About what?
Getting ready for the adult world. If I'd allowed myself to be cosseted, I don't think that would have been an ideal preparation.
You're probably right. But I can't see you as a tomboy.
Well, that was then.
How about that? Is that close to what you mean?
That's it. That's as close as I can remember.
Thanks, Mrs. Travers. You've been marvellous. And thank you, Mr. Travers, for your patience. If you want, I can have someone at the house for a while.
There's no need for that. I can look after my own.
Aren't you glad to see me, Stevie?
Why'd you get involved with them coppers? Telling them things.
I had no choice, did I?
It's going to say on the news who helped.
Isn't it? What's Barry going to do about that? Should have said nothing.
He won't come back here, will he? You'll have to kill him if he comes back, Stevie. Do you think he'll come back?
That depends, doesn't it? On how much he enjoyed your company.
Nothing happened, Stevie. I swear, nothing happened.
You expect me to believe that? Barry lifts you and you say, nothing happened?
It's the truth, Stevie.
Where's he getting all this stuff?
Could he be buying it somewhere?
There are plenty of outlets. Fancy dress hire, joke shops, theatrical retailers. But it's expensive.
Then where's he get the money?
And the van. Still no report of any stolen van.
No. I want to talk to Appleton, Lewis. See that this is distributed to the media and get a copy to the Mail.
That was terribly good. Look, I'll tell you what, let's take a break. 10 minutes, all right? That was wonderful.
Thank you very much. Do you know, when all the excitement died down the other night, I had a sudden realization that Barry had been a pretty fair organist. And he played a religious tune, too. Doesn't that make you wonder?
It's not a priority, no.
Sorry, just a thought.
Canon, Barry has the use of a band. He has the use of a house, and he's managed to acquire a new disguise. I think someone's helping him.
Yes, but who?
Is it possible that he's made contact with fellow occultists in the area? Are there occultists in Oxford?
Oh, yes. I couldn't give you any names, but they are here.
Is there any way I can get names?
Well, there are bookshops that specialize in occult literature. I suppose you could always consider asking to see their mailing lists.
There's a shop in Oxford?
No, the nearest one is Wickham. Small place called Esoterica, run by a Mr. Hieronymus St. John.
Hi, Jane.
You haven't gone and caught him, Sergeant. We've just put today's item together.
No such luck. The new photo fit. I'd like you to get it in if you can.
Let's have a look at him. Look at him.
Can I have a look at that, please? I think I've seen him.
What?
I have seen him. He was there on that first day at the car park and ride.
Platform 1, at 15:19.
Room for one more?
I think so.
Of course it is. 9 letters, you are looking at it. Cross word. Get it?
Very clever. Your hobby?
No, I just like puzzles in general, really. Keeps the brain ticking over. Holiday?
Lanzarote. Costa Jacuzzi. It's a bit quiet, but I like it.
It's not that quiet. And you without the wife?
No. I'm a widower, actually.
Oh, that was clumsy of me. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, it was wrong of me. I live alone as well. Divorced. I mean, the children come round occasionally, you know, but it's not the same. What about you?
One boy. He lives in South Africa.
Well, that's not much good, is it?
It was definitely him. I could tell there was something about him. His eyes were boring into me.
Yeah, that's the one. Mill Cottage. A unique opportunity to acquire a home of the highest caliber.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. Lewis.
Hold it. Only us. Place is empty, sir. But there's been someone living there. Food, scraps, bits of paper, that sort of thing.
Thank you, Cobbs.
Sir.
We could button the whole place up against him. Wait for him to come.
He won't be back here, Lewis. Whatever else he is, he's not stupid. He must know the estate agent can identify him. What's worrying is he doesn't seem to care too much.
Don't your colleagues want something to eat?
I don't know what's happening with them. Anyway, they look as if they could do with missing a meal or two, the pair of them. Evening, sir.
Constable, Dr. Martin. May I?
Please, Chief Inspector. Do you want to order something?
No, thank you.
Has there been any more news?
None, I'm afraid.
How's he managing to keep one jump ahead, sir? Is it just luck?
Not luck, Constable. I think Barry's getting help.
From where?
Possibly from occultists in the area. I intend following it up.
And Esther, sir?
Barry's made no effort to contact us. All we can do is keep you both here and stay alert. Which reminds me, I've given no thought to your domestic arrangements.
Oh, that's not a problem, sir.
You're not married?
I live with someone. He divides his time between me and the motorbike, but he's all right.
He's got a motorbike?
Yeah.
I had a motorbike once.
You? What was it?
A Harley, actually. It belonged to my eldest brother. And the supposition was that it would pass on to the next male in the line. But I challenged my other brothers to a speed trial, saw them both off and got to keep the bike.
That's wonderful. That's fantastic, Doctor.
Why should Dr. Martin's success cause you such unbounded joy, Constable?
Oh, no reason, sir.
Come on, you barely contain yourself.
I was pleased because she beat them at what's considered their own game. Now, it's never easy for a woman, as we don't get to make the rules. Or don't you agree, sir?
Yes, I do, but in beating them at their own games, aren't you in danger of losing something essential?
Our cuddly qualities, sir.
If you mean a disinclination to violence, a greater capacity for fair-mindedness and compassion, then yes, your cuddly qualities. Now, I've always seen femininity as a guarantor of civilization.
You've rather an idealized view of us.
That may be, but it is my view.
I can sum up your idea of feminine qualities in one word. Weakness. And it's that weakness that sustains discrimination, inequality and violence in all its forms. From the Saturday night slap in the mouth to the kind of things we get from this bastard we're all chasing.
Are you sure you don't want any coffee, Chief Inspector?
No, thank you, Doctor. I appear to have upset Constable Curtis. That was inexcusable, even if it was unintentional. Good night.
Good night, Chief Inspector.
Constable.
Sir.
From what the reporter Broomfield has told us, Barry's been driving this van since the day of his escape, but no van has been reported stolen.
And there's this makeup suit. Where's it all coming from? Someone's looking after Barry. Has to be.
Well, this shop in Wickham, what kind of muck do they peddle?
Oh, exegesis on ancient grimoire, I should think so.
Ah, I see. Well, you better get up there, Lewis. And if there's any nonsense, you can tell this Higher Anonymous whatever that will bring the roof down on him.
Right.
Exegesis on ancient grimoire?
It's good, isn't it? I got it from a book in the library.
They're against it, you know.
Are they? Why is that?
Who knows? Could it be that hell is not so commodious after all? That it couldn't cope with the sudden influx?
Mr. St. John?
That's St. John.
Is it? My name's Sergeant Lewis from Thames Valley CID. And I'd like to look at your mailing list, please.
Oh, I'm afraid that's not possible, Sergeant Lewis. You see, I guarantee strict confidentiality to my clients. We live in such intolerant times.
If I don't get to look at the list, I'll be back here in half an hour with a court order and 3 or 4 very nosy lads from the press, Mr. St. John.
£160, please.
Keep the change.
Look, I'm sure it's him. No, he didn't look like the photograph, but he's got that tattoo. What do you mean, keep an eye on him? Who do you think I am, Arnold Schwarzenegger? Look, you better get someone down here quick. I'm telling you, it was him. Sitting out there like a regular tourist, reading the London A to Z.
You're sure it was the London A to Z?
Positive.
And which way did he go?
Up towards the motorway. I guess he knew I'd recognised him.
I guess he did. Could you describe him to a photo fit, officer?
I'd better. You lot got him all wrong.
Sir?
Just had a call from Sergeant Lewis. He's come up with a name. More Willowbank. Have I got that right?
Oh, yes.
Chief Inspector Morse?
Yes.
This way, please.
Just had him starting off work. He went mad.
Chief Inspector Morse, first.
It's all right. Mr. Willowbank knows who we are.
Do come in, Chief Inspector. May I introduce my solicitor, George Granger?
Your solicitor? You just happened to be passing, Mr. Granger?
No. My client received a telephone call from a Mr. St. John of Wickham. Mr. St. John informed my client that certain inquiries had been made at his establishment concerning recipients of arcane literature. And since my client is such a recipient, whose interest is wholly academic, I might add, he thought it prudent to avail himself of my advice.
Did he?
He did. And in view of your brusque manner, Chief Inspector, I should say wisely so.
John Peter Barry.
The man who's absconded from Bedlam? What's he to do with this?
Barry shares your client's interest in the arcane, Mr. Granger. He's in this area, and someone's helping him to stay free.
He abducted a woman, Mrs. Holly Trevors. Mr. Trevors was working here at the time, which we think was convenient because it left Barry free to enter his home, violently assault Mrs. Trevors, and hold her against her will.
Let me see if I can grasp the essence of what you both have said. You're suggesting my client is aiding this lunatic Barry as a consequence of a shared interest in rare books. But when you last conversed with my client, he had that day returned from what I believe was a tedious seminar on management theory in Torquay. How could he have helped this madman?
We're not accusing your client, Mr. Granger, but he did know Mrs. Trevors would be alone.
Did he? But my client has only the scantest knowledge of Mr. Trevors and none at all concerning his marital status. Mr. Trevors is a skilled artisan recommended to my client by myself following an exquisite job of work he rendered on a frieze at my home. I still have the letter of commendation. I humbly suggest, Chief Inspector, that Mr. Trevors' commission here and his poor wife's regrettable experience are purely coincidental, unless you can prove otherwise.
I merely wanted to question your client, Mr. Granger.
Then I hope our answers have been satisfactory, so that you can leave my client in peace, Chief Inspector. And I mean in peace. The law will not allow his thirst for ancient knowledge to be used as justification for a witch hunt.
There's been some news on the radio. They're saying Barry might be headed for London.
Oh. We can all get on with our lives then, can't we?
That was a bit hard to take.
There's a connection, Lewis. Willowbank's an occultist. He employs Trevors, whose wife is abducted by another occultist. There's a connection, and we're not seeing it.
Well, it might not be our problem anymore. Not if Barry's gone to London.
And if he has, he'll be back. And why bother to have Esther Martin brought to Oxford and then just walk off? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, whatever Barry's up to, we'll find out soon enough. Today's Lammas Day.
Lammas Day, it's the Devil's Day. Lammas Day, it's the Devil's Day.
My lord and master, Prince Lucifer, I acknowledge thee as my true God, and promise to obey and serve thee all the days of my life. I renounce the false God and the false prophet Jesus Christ, and all the saints and sacraments of the Church.
That'll do me, sir. I've managed to get a couple of prints off him.
Thank you. Who could it be?
Whoever it is, I think Barry killed him. He's been stabbed, then the body doused with petrol and set alight.
Fire. And on Lammas Day, Canon.
What went on here, Canon?
Well, a black mass, quite clearly, Chief Inspector. Might I look at the altar?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Oh, would you empty the chalice for me, please, Sergeant? Yeah. Turnip, dyed black. A parody of the Eucharist. 7. There were 7 of them, Morse. The dead man and 6 others.
You mean Barry walked in here and did that in front of 6 people? And they just stood and watched?
Terror, Morse. Something terrified them.
Lewis, go and check the dead man's prints with criminal records. I want to talk to Willowbank. Mr. Willowbank! This is Chief Inspector Morse. Open the door, please. Mr. Willowbank, open the door.
Sergeant, what about that?
Let's see if we can get a print out of the full case report.
You were at the clearing in Wood last night. I'd like to know what happened there, Mr. Willowbank.
I can't help. I can't.
Listen to me. A man was murdered at that clearing.
He was taken. I conjured him up. I conjured him up to go to Mendes. I saw him reach into my brother's flesh and tear out his very soul.
What you saw was a murder.
No. I saw him walk through the fire.
Mr. Willowbank, since when has the devil needed 4-star petrol for his pyrotechnic displays? What you saw was a man, John Peter Barry, made up to look like God knows what. It was Barry.
A man. Barry.
I want the names of the others and the name of the dead man.
Oh, no names, please.
The name of the dead man.
Sir, got something on the dead man.
The dead man is Stephen Travers, Lewis.
Travers?
What have you got on him?
Well, I think he was once Barry's partner, sir. Trevor's fingerprints showed up in criminal records. 7 years ago, there were 2 reported rapes in the Chesterfield area. Both attacks were carried out by 2 men. The victims, a Miss Edwina Trent and a Mrs. Emily Hallett, were both assaulted in their own homes. Mrs. Hallett was hit with an ashtray. That's where we got the fingerprint from. But unfortunately, there was never a name or a face to go with the print until now. Chesterfield was in Barry's old patch then.
His partner. It's perfect, Lewis. That's why he came to Oxford. He knew he'd get help here.
But Mrs. Trevor, sir, are we saying her husband helped set up her abduction?
Why not? You've read this. And even if Travers wanted to, he couldn't have refused. Barry knew about his background. He could have threatened to expose him. You'd better go and see Mrs. Travers. Tell her what happened.
What will that tell us?
That she's a widow. The rest can wait.
Mrs. Travers? It's the police. Mrs. Travers?
We believe Barry and Travers were once partners. They split up, but Barry went on his own and eventually got caught. Now, if he believed he'd been betrayed, wouldn't he suspect his former associate?
But if you're right, why didn't he betray Travers in turn?
He was keeping Travers for his own brand of retribution.
But these items that were taken from the victims, the lighter and the brooch, Barry never took anything from his victims, other than their dignity. Taking things adds to the risk of getting caught.
Maybe Travers wasn't as careful.
Yeah, we know Barry was careful, sir. And there's this victim here, Mrs. Hallett. She and her husband work from home. They'd normally be in the house together, wouldn't they? How could the two men have known she'd be alone? That had to be an opportunist attack. That's not Barry's style.
That point I can't argue with.
Chief Inspector, what does all this mean for me?
Barry said that we were to keep you till he was ready for you.
Meaning Travers first, me next.
Nothing, Sarge.
Nah, me neither. Come on.
Someone up there.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, Sarge.
What?
Well, what if it's Barry?
Ask him to come down.
It's all right, it'll be Appleton.
Morse. I've told the canon how we found her.
She refuses to talk to us. She asked to see you.
She should be seeing a doctor.
She wouldn't allow us to call one in.
You asked to see me, Mrs. Travers.
Something happened last night. Something terrible happened.
I know.
These two are saying it was a man. It was Barry. I want to hear what you say.
Mrs. Travers, if the devil came down onto the earth last night, why would I deny it? The churches would be filled with sinners wishing to repent. No. What you saw was a man. It was Barry.
But he caught hold of my Stevie. Why should Barry want Stevie? He's got nothing against us.
Mrs. Travers, I'm very sorry, but Barry murdered your husband last night.
But why?
We don't know for certain.
Try and get some rest, Mrs. Travers. Try and get to sleep now.
I knew something like this would happen. I wanted no part of their witchcraft. It was Stevie. He said I had to go along with him.
Is there no one we can call, Mrs. Travers?
No one.
As in everything else, Barry seems to have been very careful in his choice of partner.
Do you know, I almost wish he'd, well, try whatever it is he intends to try. All this waiting is getting quite unnerving.
It's been less than 24 hours since he murdered Travers. I think he'll wait a little while longer in the hope that we'll lower our guard. Must have been very difficult working so closely with him.
It was. When he told me about his crimes, he could get quite explicit. He'd relive them for me.
Was there no one else who could have done it?
It was my job, Chief Inspector. There were plenty of other people who wanted it, but I was by far the best qualified. I got it on merit. I sense you think I was the wrong choice. Too cuddly, maybe.
That's not my word. But if you must know, I wouldn't have let someone like you within 1,000,000 miles of him.
Hello, Holly. What do you think? Do I make a passable bitch?
What do you want?
Two things. Last night I was lying in front of the fire, and for some odd reason I found myself thinking of Stevie and his liking for trinkets. You still got them, Holly?
Yes.
He betrayed me. Therefore he must forfeit everything that was granted him.
He didn't betray you.
Don't lie for him, Holly. Now, show me the trinkets.
They're in that drawer.
Go and fetch them, Holly. Holly.
I'm not looking forward to this. Is there a tactful way to tell Mrs. Travers her husband's a rapist?
I'd be happy to know if there was, since I'm the one who'll be doing the telling.
It's all over. I've shot him. He's at my house. I've shot Barry at my house. He fell there. You can see the blood. I tell you, I shot him.
What happened to the gun?
I dropped it. I must have picked it up.
How did you get him to where the gun was, Mrs. Travers? Wasn't he suspicious when you went into the drawer?
He said he wanted money to get away. I said we had none, but I had some jewellery.
The jewellery was in the drawer?
No. No, I keep that in my bedroom.
Would you mind checking that it's still there, Mrs. Travers?
Why?
If he had the presence of mind to pick up the gun, he might have gone in search of the jewellery.
There's not much, but it's all here.
May I? You've got some nice things here, Mrs. Travers.
Presents from your husband?
Oh, not likely. I picked them up at a sale somewhere.
You bought this in a sale?
Yes.
And this?
All of them. That's what I said, isn't it?
You know where these came from, don't you? These items were taken from women assaulted by your husband. My God. You knew.
This is just a precaution, that's all. Barry's been shot. He's hardly going to come here now.
Mrs. Travers, did they say why she was being kept in custody?
All I know is that Barry went to the house and she shot him. Now, everything's going to be all right. Okay?
You did know where these came from, didn't you, Mrs. Travers?
Of course she knew, Lewis. But are we to believe that her husband just came out and told her that he'd robbed and raped these women? A victim of Barry and your husband, Mrs. Hallett. She and her husband worked from home, and yet she was alone on the day of the attack. Police asked for a list of visitors to the house that day. And one of them was a woman. She was selling stationery, and Mrs. Hallett bought some. The woman was never traced. It didn't seem important at the time. Why should it? A woman involved in that. I wonder if Mrs. Hallett would recognize that woman if she saw her again. Or Miss Edwina Trent. Would you like to meet those women, Mrs. Travers?
No. It was them women or me. That's how I saw it. We met Barry through the religion. He dominated Stevie. If I hadn't have helped, I'd have got what for.
Where's Barry now, Mrs. Travers?
I don't know. How should I know?
Because you and your husband have been helping him since he escaped.
He killed Stevie and he abducted me.
You didn't know he was here to kill your husband. And as for your abduction, what abduction?
No. Why should I lie? You know about everything else.
Why did he come to the house today?
He came for these.
But he'd been to the house before. Why didn't he ask for them then?
I don't know.
And when you were abducted?
He didn't mention them.
Then why the sudden importance to him?
I don't know.
Tell me about these, Mrs. Travers.
The ring came from some woman Barry set up.
And the bracelet?
She was the first one. Just some woman. There's an inscription inside, but no name. We were out driving and saw her at the side of the road. She had a motorbike, and Stevie wanted to look.
To a fast lady from beaten but still loving brothers.
It was called something like a man's name.
Harley Davidson.
That's it.
All along. All along she's been telling us how she did it, Lewis. And I thought she was a fool.
First number's a call box. The second one's a house at 10 Oak Road, Oxford.
Esther. Is that you?
It's me, John.
You seen what she's done to me? Have you seen what that bitch has done to me? She said the trinkets from a drawer.
Have you got them? Did you bring them for me?
How could I? I didn't have time to search. She shot me.
I told you. It was in my dream. Astoreth showed me the objects. The Travers woman was never to enjoy them. She was the traitor's concubine. I told you.
Am I gonna die, Esther?
Let me look. Ah! I'm sorry. The frock was stuck to the wound. You are going to die, John. You afraid?
No. I've been a good servant. I shall sit on the right hand of the master. I'm not afraid.
Good.
John Peter Barry, the house is surrounded by armed police officers. Throw out your weapons and give yourself up.
Do you hear that? It's the police. Your failure has led them here. There'll be no seat at the right hand of the master now. You've put me in danger.
No, it was not my fault.
Morse is out there. Oh, how he's going to gloat about this. But there is one last service you can perform, John.
I've got no gun. I want to speak to Morse. I've rigged the house. If you want to see that woman alive again, I have to speak to Morse.
What are you going to do? You can't go out there.
If he has rigged the house, he's half dead and unarmed. Barry. What have you done to the house?
I haven't done anything to the house, Morse. I just wanted to say goodbye.
It's all right, Nora. About the gun, I mean. How did you know where I'd be, Chief Inspector?
You had to have contacted Barry to send him after the jewelry. The hotel provides its customers with itemized telephone bills.
Oh.
You'd been in touch with him all along, letting him know what we were thinking.
Yes.
When did you first meet Barry, Dr. Martin?
It was about 10 years ago. I'd broken down on my motorbike. I thought they'd stopped to help. I could see the woman in the van. I thought I was safe. Before that night, life had been good to me. I'd known only love and friendship. I couldn't believe it was happening to me. And afterwards, I was too ashamed to tell anyone. 2 men and 2 women on a road at night, who would have believed me? I'd never have got justice. During it, I noticed a tattoo on one of the men's arms. When Barry was arrested, I knew it was him.
He didn't even recognize you when he saw you.
Why should he? I'd been less than nothing to him. I really did try to understand Barry. But being so near him in the hospital, all that time, I thought I'd go mad. Perhaps I did. Because at some point I decided I'd kill him.
And Barry himself provided the method with his obsession about betrayal?
Yes. When I told him about the dreams, he said if I was Astereth's medium, I could tell him who'd betrayed him. So I described my own ordeal. And I told him he'd been betrayed by the other man. Then he said if I was Astereth's medium, I could get him out of the hospital. So I began to see a way I could pay them both back. It was as though we were locked together in some absurd game, each driven by our own hatred. The rest you know, Chief Inspector.
You got Barry out to murder Travers, and then you intended to kill Barry and return to the hotel unnoticed. If we hadn't have arrived at the house, could you have gone through with it, Doctor?
You're a good man, Chief Inspector. I can't expect you to understand or condone my actions. But when you find the owner of this ring and tell her what I did, look into her eyes. You'll find the answer to your question there.